In 1983, the United Kingdom decided to introduce a brand new coin. It was the very first £1 coin ever made, created to slowly replace the £1 banknote that used to be in people's wallets. Almost everyone in the country saw this coin, spent it, saved it, or dropped it into a drawer without thinking much about it. More than 400 million of these coins were made, which means they were everywhere. But here's where everything gets exciting. Even though millions of the regular coins exist, there is one extremely rare version that almost no one knew about at the time, a version so unusual and so special that today collectors go crazy when they hear about it. It is known as the mule version of the £1,983 coin. That word mule might sound strange, but in the coin world it simply means the mint accidentally used the wrong tool or the wrong design when making the coin. Think of it like printing a stamp with the wrong picture or making a key that doesn't match the lock. When something like this happens at the Royal Mint, where coins are made, it becomes a big deal because the mint almost never makes mistakes. And that is what makes this coin so rare. The 1983 mule pound coin was created when the mint accidentally used the wrong front side, the wrong obverse, during production. Instead of using the correct design for the new pound coin, they used a design that belonged to a different coin, the 20-pence piece. Only a very small number of these mistake coins were made, and many experts believe fewer than 5 to 10 of them actually exist today. Some think even less may be out there, and some may still be sitting in people's houses or pocket change without anyone realizing it. Because it is so rare, this coin has become incredibly valuable, and that's why so many people search their drawers and old jars hoping to find one. The easiest way to tell if you have this rare mule coin is to look at the writing around the edge. The normal £1,983 coin has a special phrase written on it, but the mule has the words, Fidei Defensor, which belongs to the 20-pence coin. That simple mistake turns an ordinary-looking coin into something worth an unbelievable amount of money. People often ask how much this coin can actually sell for, and the truth is the price depends on things like condition, whether it has been graded, and how certain people are that it is genuine. But even with all those factors, the value of this coin is shocking. A worn version, something you might find in a jar of old coins, can still be worth over £500 to £1,500. A cleaner, nicer one can easily reach £2,000 to £5,000. A top-quality one that has been checked by a grading company can reach £7,000, £10,000, or even £12,000. And some extremely rare examples, especially those with good history or perfect condition, can go for £15,000 to £20,000 or more. Yes, a coin that was supposed to be worth £1 could actually be worth more than a used car, a luxury holiday, or even a deposit on a house. This is why collectors all over the world love this coin. What makes the story even more interesting is that nobody knows exactly how the mistake happened. There is no official record from the Royal Mint explaining it, no list showing how many were created, and no report about how these coins slipped into the public. It's possible the mistake happened during testing or at the beginning of production before the mint realized something was wrong. Maybe only a handful were made and mixed accidentally with normal coins. Maybe someone took one home without knowing its value. This mystery adds even more excitement to the story, making the coin feel like a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. Some people have found rare coins like this in old tins, old wallets, forgotten boxes, or change they kept from decades ago without thinking about it. That's why people always say to look carefully before spending any old money. You never know what you might have. If you think you have a £1,983 coin that looks unusual, especially one with the wrong writing on the edge, the best thing to do is to get it checked by an expert or a trusted grading company. They will confirm if it is real, and that can make the value rise even higher. It's very important not to clean the coin, because cleaning can damage it and lower its value a lot. Leave it exactly as it is and let professionals handle it. What makes this whole story truly amazing is that a tiny coin, something most people didn't think twice about using to buy food or drinks in the 1980s, could now be worth so much. And this is the magic of coin collecting. Mistakes, mysteries, low numbers, and history all come together to turn small metal objects into valuable treasures. So if you ever find a 1,983-pound coin, take a moment to look closely at it. You might not have a normal coin. You might be holding one of the rarest coins in modern British history, a coin that could change your day, your savings, or maybe even your whole life. And that is why people love the hunt. Imagine picking up an old 1965 Jefferson nickel from your change, thinking it's just another 5-cent coin. It looks plain, worn, nothing special at all. But what if I told you that this simple nickel, the same one people ignore every day, could actually be worth not just a few dollars, not even a few hundred, but thousands, tens of thousands, and in the rarest cases even hundreds of thousands of dollars? Yes, a 1965 nickel, the kind you've probably seen many times, can be worth life-changing money. You might be holding something that could pay for a vacation, help buy a car, or even hit six-figure value. And what makes this even crazier is that the year 1965 was one of the most chaotic years in U.S. mint history. During this time, the entire country was in a coin shortage. People were hoarding older coins because silver prices were rising. Silver dimes, silver quarters, silver half-dollars were disappearing from circulation. To fix this crisis, the government passed the Coinage Act of 1965. This changed the metal of many coins and removed mint marks from all coins from 1965 to 1967. No D, no S, no mint mark at all. This caused confusion and heavy pressure on the mint. Machines ran non-stop, dies wore out fast, and workers were rushing. And when a mint works under pressure like this, errors happen. Big errors. Rare errors. Valuable errors. Even though the nickel didn't change its metal in 1965, it was still affected by the chaos around it. That's why some 1965 nickels today are extremely rare and worth huge money. The most valuable ones are nickels that were struck on the wrong metal. Because the mint was changing metals on other coins, leftover silver planchets and foreign planchets sometimes slipped into the nickel machines. A few 1965 nickels were struck on 90% silver planchets, even though no nickel was supposed to be silver. These rare silver strike nickels look bright, ring like silver, and weigh less than a normal nickel. These are the jackpot coins. Some have sold for $10,000, others for $25,000 or $40,000, and one special example sold for around $150,000. Imagine a 5-cent coin selling for more money than most people make in a year. That's how rare and exciting these errors are. Other 1965 nickels show strong doubling on the date, letters, or on Monticello. These double-die nickels can be worth hundreds for mild doubling and thousands of dollars for strong examples. A perfect, high-grade double-die 1965 nickel can hit over $10,000. Then there are off-center strikes, where the design is pushed way to one side. Small off-center nickels might sell for $50 or $100, but big dramatic off-center errors with a clear date can bring thousands. Some are worth $2,000, $3,000, or even $5,000. Broad strikes, struck-through errors, and wrong-size planchet errors also exist. These mistakes happen when the collar breaks, or something gets between the die and the coin. These can range anywhere from $100 to $1,000 depending on how extreme the error looks. Another prize type is the full-step nickel. This means the steps on Monticello are fully sharp and complete. In 1965 the mint was in such a rush that most nickels were weak and mushy in the details. So finding one with sharp steps is rare. High-grade full-step 1965 nickels can sell for $1,000, $5,000, $10,000, or even $20,000 to $30,000 in higher grades. And experts agree that if a MS68 or higher full-step nickel ever appears, it could easily hit over $50,000. These values show how wild the market is for this year. But the story gets even more exciting when you realize how these mistakes happened. Because the mint removed mint marks in 1965, nobody could tell which mint made which coin. The mint was also making coins for foreign countries at the same time. Different metals were moving around the production floor. Machines were running non-stop. Dies were being overused. Planchets got mixed. Because of all this pressure, things slipped through the cracks. A silver planchet here. A foreign planchet there. A misaligned die. A double strike. A wrong metal strike. All of these mistakes came from a perfect mix of chaos, rushing, and confusion. The best part? These coins went into regular circulation. They were not pulled out by the mint. They were not separated. They were not caught. They went into pockets, wallets, drawers, banks, stores, and jars. That means even today, right now, rare 1,965 nickels worth thousands or even over $100,000 could still be hiding in someone's change. They might be sitting in a coin jar, a piggy bank, a forgotten drawer, a cup holder in a car, or a roll you buy from the bank. Anyone could find one. You could find one. And it only takes one coin, one simple mistake from 1965, to completely change your day, your week, or even your life. To check your 1965 nickels, all you need to do is look closely. Check the weight. A silver nickel will weigh less than a normal one. Check the color. Silver looks brighter and lighter. Check the date area for doubling. Check the steps on Monticello. Check for off-center designs, missing parts, weird rims, or strange shapes. Anything unusual can be valuable. If you think you found something rare, the best thing to do is send it to PCGS or NGC. Once a coin is graded, collectors trust it, and the value goes up. Some of the most valuable 1965 nickels ever sold only reached their huge prices after they were graded and certified as real errors. The 1965 Jefferson Nickel is a perfect example of how a simple coin from a difficult time in U.S. history turned into one of the most exciting and valuable modern collectible coins. All because the mint was rushing, the country was in shortage, and tiny mistakes were made that slipped into circulation. So the next time you see a 1965 nickel, do not ignore it. That feeling of excitement is what pulls so many people into checking every old coin they find, and the 1977 2 new pence coin is one of the most talked about coins because people see the words, "new pence," on it and immediately think they might have the super rare one everyone whispers about. But the story is more surprising than you might think, and if you stay with me until the very end, you're going to understand exactly why this coin is surrounded by so much confusion, mystery, excitement, and hope. To start, we need to go back in time to the year 1971 when the UK changed its money system in a huge event called decimalization. Before 1971, the money system was different and harder to understand. After decimalization, new coins were made, including the new 1p and 2p coins. For all the 2p coins made from 1971 to 1981, the words, "new pence," were used. That means the 1977 2p coin saying, "new pence," is completely normal. Millions and millions were made and used every day. People spent them for snacks, kids used them for machines that sold sweets, and families kept them in change bowls without thinking they would ever be worth more than 2 pence. They were just ordinary coins doing an ordinary job. But many years later, the world of coin collecting changed when stories began spreading about a rare 2p coin worth a huge amount of money, and suddenly, everybody started checking their old coins, especially the ones from the 1970s and early 80s. People typed, "new pence worth money," into search bars and saw shocking prices, and that's when a wave of excitement hit the internet. And because the 1977 coin says, "new pence," many people thought they might have found the treasure everyone is talking about. But here comes the twist in the story. The big value coin, the one worth hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of pounds, is not the 1977 coin. The coin that exploded in value is from a different year, 1983, and this is where the mystery becomes interesting. In 1983, the Royal Mint had already changed the words on the 2p coin. Instead of "new pence," all 2p coins from that year were supposed to say 2 pence. But by mistake, a very tiny number of coins, maybe 10, maybe fewer, were made using the old wording, "new pence." This was not supposed to happen and is now one of the biggest modern coin mistakes in the UK. That coin, the 1983 new pence mule error, is the one collectors fight over. This is the coin that can sell for hundreds, thousands, and in some cases tens of thousands of pounds when it is in perfect condition. This tiny mistake turned a small brown 2p piece into a treasure worth more than a holiday, a motorbike, or even a down payment on a small house. And because people hear about this famous coin, they start checking every coin from the 1970s, hoping theirs might be rare too. The 1977 coin gets mixed into the excitement because it also says, new pence, but it is not a mistake. It is simply part of the years when that wording was normal. But even though the 1977 coin is not rare, it still plays a role in the bigger story. People want early decimal coins because they feel like pieces of British history, a reminder of a time when the country changed its entire money system. And sometimes collectors will pay a little more for 1970s coins in perfect condition, especially if they look shiny, untouched, and crisp. They won't be worth thousands, but they can be part of collections that include coins that are worth huge amounts. The funny part is that the mistake coin from 1983 looks almost the same as all the others, and that tiny difference in one word, just one single word, is what creates all the value. It almost seems unbelievable that something so small could be worth so much money, but that is exactly what makes coin collecting exciting. It makes people check each letter on each coin, turning something as simple as spare change into a mini treasure hunt. And even though the 1977 coin itself is not the special one, the search for it is part of the fun. People hope that maybe, just maybe, they might find a rare error coin in their change because it has happened before. Mistakes sometimes slip through the mint, coins get printed wrong, wrong dies get used, and tiny accidents get turned into big money years later. Even if your 1977 2p coin is not the rare one, holding it reminds you that every coin has a story and that any coin might surprise you if you look closely enough. And that's the real magic. You never know when you might pick up a coin that changes your day or even your life. And as long as people keep searching, the excitement of finding a coin worth hundreds, thousands, or tens of thousands will always keep the hunt alive.